Soils containing organic matters. A. Are of spongy nature. B. Swell with decrease of moisture. C. Shrink with increase of moisture content. D. None of these. The correct answer is are of spongy nature. A soil not fully consolidated under the existing overburden pressure is called A. Pre-consolidated. B. Normally consolidated. C. Under-consolidated. D. None of these. The correct answer is under-consolidated. The angle of internal friction is maximum for A. Angular grained loose sand. B. Angular grained dense sand. C. Round grained dense sand. D. Round grained loose sand. The correct answer is angular grained dense sand. If G is specific gravity of sand particles, E is porosity, the critically hydraulic gradient. A. IC. B. IC. C. IC. D. IC. The correct answer is IC. A grillage foundation. A is provided for heavily loaded isolated columns. B is treated as spread foundation. C consists of two sets of perpendicularly placed steel beams. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. The plasticity of fine soils may be assessed by means of A. Dry strength test. B. Toughness test. C. Dilatancy test. D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. The density of soil can be increased. A. By reducing the space occupied by air. B. By elastic compression of soil grains. C. By expelling water from pores. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. The length-diameter ratio of cylindrical specimens used in triaxial test is generally A. 1. B. 1.5. C. 2. D. 2.5. The correct answer is 2. A suspended particle falls through a height 8 cm in water in T minutes. If the viscosity of water is and specific gravity of the particle is g, the diameter of the particle is where m is a constant factor. A. 10.3 m. B. 10.4 m. C. 10.5 m. D. 10.2 m. The correct answer is 10.5 m. A direct shear test possesses the following disadvantage. A. A relatively thin thickness of sample permits quick drainage. B. A relatively thin thickness of sample permits quick dissipation of pore pressure developed during the test. C. As the test progresses, the area under shear gradually changes. D. None of these. The correct answer is as the test progresses, the area under shear gradually changes. Through a point in a loaded soil mass there exists n typical planes mutually orthogonal on which the stress is wholly normal and no shear stress acts if n is A1, B2, C3, D4. The correct answer is 3. The pressure that builds up in pore water due to load increment on the soil is termed A. Excess pore pressure. B. Excess hydrostatic pressure. C. Hydrodynamic pressure. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. The ratio of E max and E min of silty sand is A. 2.0, B. 5, C. 3.0, D. 3.5. The correct answer is 3.0. The neutral stress in a soil mass is A. Force per neutral area. B. Force per effective area. C. Stress taken up by the pore water. D. Stress taken up by solid particles. The correct answer is stress taken up by the pore water. If voids ratio is 0.67, water content is 0.188 and specific gravity is 2.68, the degree of saturation of the soil is A. 25, B. 40, C. 60, D. 75. The correct answer is 75. If water content of a soil is 40 G is 2.70 and void ratio is 1.35, the degree of saturation is A 70, B 75, C 80, D 85. The correct answer is 80. A structure is erected on an impervious clay whose thickness is 12 m. Drainage is possible both at upper and lower surfaces. Coefficient of consolidation is 0.015 cm2 per minute. For attaining 50 consolidation with a time factor 0.20, the number of days required: A 3233, B 3123, C 33331, D 3313. The correct answer is 33,331. The intensity of active earth pressure at a depth of 10 meters in dry cohesionless sand with an angle of internal friction of 30 and with a weight of 1.8 tm3 is A 4 tm2, B 5 tm2, C 6 tm2, D 7 tm2. The correct answer is 6 tm2. On wetting cohesive soils: A. Lose permeability, B. Gain shear strength, C. Lose elasticity, D. Decrease their shear strength. The correct answer is decrease their shear strength. Talus is the soil transported by A. Wind, B. Water, C. Glacier, D. Gravitational force. The correct answer is gravitational force. A triaxial shear test is preferred to direct shear test because A. It can be performed under all three drainage conditions with complete control, B. Precise measurement of pore pressure and change in volume during test is not possible, C. Stress distribution on the failure plane is non-uniform, D. None of these. The correct answer is it can be performed under all three drainage conditions with complete control. Pick up the correct statement from the following: A. When stress decreases, void ratio decreases. B. When stress decreases, coefficient of permeability decreases. C. When stress decreases, coefficient of volume change decreases. D. When stress decreases, void ratio, coefficients of permeability and volume change decrease. The correct answer is when stress decreases, void ratio, coefficients of permeability and volume change decrease. The Mohrs strait theory is based on the following fact: A. Material fails essentially by shear. B. Ultimate strength of the material is determined by the stress in the plane of slip. C. Failure criterion is independent of the intermediate principal stress. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. An unsaturated 100 cm 3 sample of soil weighs 190 G. If its dried weight is 160 G, water content of the soil is A. 0.188, B. 0.288, C. 0.388, D. 0.488. The correct answer is 0.188. The specific gravity of calcite is A. 2.65, B. 2.72, C. 2.85, D. 2.90. The correct answer is 2.72. The ratio of volume of air voids to the volume of total voids is known as A. Air content, B. Percentage air voids, C. Percentage voids, D. Porosity. The correct answer is air content. A plane inclined at an angle to the horizontal at which the soil is expected to stay in the absence of any lateral support is known as A. Natural slope line, B. Repose line, C. The line, D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. Pick up the correct statement from the following. A. The dry density reduces by addition of water after attaining optimum moisture content. B. The line joining the peak of 3 moisture content graphs obtained by using 3 compactive energies is called line of optimus. C. Well-graded coarse-grained soils can be compacted to a very high density as compared to fine-grained soils. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. A soil mass is said to be in plastic equilibrium if A. It is stressed to maximum. B. It is on the verge of failure. C. It is in plastic stage. D. It starts flowing. The correct answer is it is on the verge of failure. Pick up the correct statement from the following. A. The permeability of the coarse-grained soils may be reduced by grouting. B. The process of injecting fluids i.e. grouts into the pores space of the soil is called grouting. C. The grouting increases the soil strength. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. A soil sample of mass-specific gravity 1.92 has a moisture content 30. If the specific gravity of solids is 2.75, the void ratio is A. 0.858, B. 0.860, C. 0.862, D. 0.864. The correct answer is 0.862. The ratio of the weight of water to the weight of solids in a given mass of soil is known. A. Porosity, B. Specific gravity, C. Void ratio, D. Water content. The correct answer is water content. During seepage through a soil, direction of seepage is always A. Parallel to equipotential lines, B. Perpendicular to stream lines, C. Perpendicular to equipotential lines, D. None of these. The correct answer is perpendicular to equipotential lines. The slip at critical angle is generally known. A. One line, B. Rupture plane, C. Slip plane, D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. The property of a soil which allows it to be deformed rapidly without rupture, elastic rebound, and also a volume change is known. A. Porosity, B. Plasticity, C. Permeability, D. Ductility. The correct answer is plasticity.